Hey guys, welcome back to another video. And in today's video, I am going to run around this lake. It's on a very windy day, and I'm going to show you how I approach a lake on a day that it's as windy as it is today. Like it is really windy. It's blowing around. So there is going to be some wind noise in this audio. You can expect that. I will try to do my best to shield you guys from it, but there are some times you got to angle the boat in a certain direction. You just can't get away from that wind. I will do my best, but that's the plan for today. I'm not sure quite yet what the baits we're going to throw, but the two right off the top of my head, one is a power shot with a finesse worm. I know a finesse worm on a windy day, but it works. So we're going to do the power shot, the finesse worm, probably a bigger swim bait, big soft swim bait, and then I don't know, we'll see. I might throw down a scrounger jig too. We'll see what else we got in the box here that we're going to throw, but those are pretty much what I like to throw. Sorry, I left one out. Number one is a spinner bait. Can't believe I almost left that out. Number one bait that I like to throw is a spinner bait, but then it's the power shot, and then the bigger soft body swim baits. So that's the plan for today, and yeah, we'll see what we can get ourselves into. So come along for the adventure. All right, well, messed around with the drop shot a little bit, the power shot. Now we're going to go through with the spinner bait here. On this point, you're throwing it directly in the wind. This is probably better suited for the spinner bait anyways. So we'll see what we can dig up here. There we go. Quick release. Oh, is that worth getting my whole arm's soaking wet? Hey, fishing in the wind is fun, right? It's not always pleasurable to fish in the wind, but like I said before in some other videos, maybe even already this one, sometimes you just have to. That's where the fish are sometimes. We'll play around here for a couple minutes, and then we're probably going to move. All right, so we are up shallow. I'm going to try some shallow reeds here. Get into some thicker cover and see if there's anything lying around. Yep. Picked it up real quick. Wow. Okay. So when it's windy, go shallow. Wow. Look at that. He wanted that. Not dealing with a giant, but I mean, it's like almost gone. Like almost gone. Oh, hang on, bud. I'll get you free. There we go. That's a nice fish here. First cast up shallow with the tried and true black and blue jig here. My favorite. Rain, sun, clouds, shine, whatever it is. This is my favorite to throw all around. I mean, he hammered the snot out of that. Like he ate it and he just ran for the hills. Let's see what else we got up here. We're gonna go into this little bay here too and throw a frog around, just because I just got a feeling. My feeling's not always right, but you never know. again. We're not dealing with big fish here, but you got it right in the bottom of the mouth. There we go. I mean, we're getting some bites, but they're not big. But we're getting some good bites. Just so you guys know, this is still the same trailer, Bandito bug trailer, that I've had on, actually even before this day, before we caught those 2 fish now. This trailer was on, caught I think a few more fish before this, so holding on pretty good. But I think what we're going to do is we're going to keep fishing some of these reeds here. I might switch to a spinnerbait to see if we can find some more active ones, but yeah, we're going to do this and then move up into this little bay. Yeah, there he goes. Alright guys, well, there's another bait I forgot to mention to you guys. It's a bladed jig, which is also really good in windy conditions too. So, and this is actually one of my favorite baits to throw as well. Spinnerbait is too, but sometimes the blades get caught in the wind, and yeah, sometimes this is a little bit easier to throw depending on how windy it is. So and I can throw this on 17-pound fluorocarbon line, which I typically do. It still sinks just fine, and you got a lot of strength, you got a lot of power, a lot of sensitivity too. So I use straight fluorocarbon, no leader. Actually, I probably need some more fluorocarbon on here, but it'll work. So we're gonna start throwing this now for a little bit, see if we can't get any bites on it. Here's a fish. Kind of hit it like a pike though. Yeah, I think it's a pike because it's not coming up. Yep. Oh, it's another pike. Okay. I'm good at catching pike on windy days. It's all fired up right now too. Yeah, just about threw a hook in my hand. Okay, buddy. I'll let you go. Just don't freak out right now. What's going on here? There we go. All right, here we go. Oh. Man, Pike City. If I was keeping pike today, we'd be eating good. I think some of these pike we probably wouldn't have been able to keep. There's a slot limit, or a slot for these guys that you can't keep. But besides that, we're looking for bass. There's a lot more fish back there where I was casting, so we're gonna get back in there and see if maybe this black and blue bladed jig here can catch more than just pike. I wish it would. I want it to, but just because I want it to doesn't mean it's going to. There's a fish. It's a pike. I should have known. Yeah, buddy. Just a little guy here. Stop. Goes. It's a pike. Oh, he's got that thing down in there good too, doesn't he? Slack in the lines. Oh, and it came off too. It's probably a pike. I knocked a ton of slack in my line. Yeah, I bet you it was a pike. Whatever it is, it feels smaller. It's another pike. Goodness. Just can't get away from these guys. I'm tired of grabbing onto them. They're just slimy. What is faster to unhook? Alright guys, well, this was a short one. I just want to let you guys know that well, I had some boat problems here. We got some battery issues, you know, still the same. It's actually not really an issue, really, honestly. It is an issue, but it's not like it's something new. My batteries just didn't get a good charge last night, so they weren't fully charged this morning. So they're acting up. Trolling motor's acting up a little bit. That's kind of normal. I mean, it's not normal, but it's been happening a bit lately. And I'm just not going to take it off of the boat yet to go get it worked on until the off season. Pretty much the only thing that happens is the spot lock doesn't work very well. So, sometimes I don't even really need a spot lock. So I'm not in a huge hurry for that. I'll wait for the off season. But in this video, I just really wanted to let you guys know. I just kind of wanted to show you guys that you know what I typically do for when I go fishing in the wind. Honestly, I am trying to stay out of the wind for the prime fact that, you know, when it is really windy, my batteries on my boat, they don't last that long in the wind. I do need new batteries. That's a fact. But today they were fully charged, and well, no, I'm sorry. Today they weren't fully charged, so I can't blame it on that. Anyways, I'm trying to stay out of the wind whenever, you know, it's a super windy day out, because well, two main factors. One is, first of all, very difficult to cast accurately and hit your spot when you're fishing in the wind, and depending on how bad the wind is. Second, boat control. Boat control is big when you're trying to catch a fish. Sometimes they won't bite the lure a certain angle, so you got to be at the right direction. And, you know, sometimes, I mean, if you see the fish, they're not biting, go from a different angle. Sometimes that's really all it takes. Or, you know, change baits too. But that comes to the next thing. You know, fishing in the wind. You know, a lot of times what I'm going to be throwing is baits that I can cast easy in the wind. Crankbaits, I will, because sometimes crankbaits are really good in the wind if you're casting with the wind. And that's one place where I will, one instance where I will use a crankbait, because there are some areas on the lake where, you know, a crankbait is going to be your best option. Bladed jig is one thing. Bladed jig and spinnerbait are two baits that I really do like to throw in the wind, because they're spinnerbait's not really that easy to throw, because the wind can catch it and then, you know, give you a pretty good backlash. As you saw today that I had a couple of pretty good backlashes today. But yeah, well, you know, maybe that's what we needed to do. Get a backlash on the spinnerbait, let it just fall straight to the bottom, and then a bass will just be on it. I mean, maybe that's all I needed to do today. But anyways, those two baits are probably going to be my first ones. Now, we did catch a couple on the jig when we were going up shallow. You know, the reeds are moving sometimes when the wind is blowing in there, so fish don't really get up in there, which kind of is what happened. We caught those two bass out of the reeds, just on the edge of them. So they might have been sitting up in the reeds and just looking out and ambushing, or they're already out on the outer edge and roaming and hunting on the outer edge of those reeds. So we did catch a couple up there on a jig. I did try a frog a little bit, because we went into a back bay, nothing on there, and we left from there. But so I didn't include that, because obviously there's nothing really to show. But those are a few of the baits I'm going to be throwing. And another bait that I do like to throw in the wind is a big swim bait. So don't count that out. And obviously I talked about the power shot. Power shot is definitely a good one too, because you put a heavy weight on there. It's a drop shot, but heavy duty. Put a heavy weight on there, a 3/4 ounce weight, and you can pitch it. It's really good, you know, pitching it into like weed edges and stuff like that too. Depending on the wind, you really got to watch your line and really feel your line as well too. It's very hard to detect a bite, and I missed a couple on it today because of that. That was just my error. I wasn't paying attention. The other baits, I don't know. A jerkbait is not bad, but it's the same thing as a crankbait. You can cast it into the wind, but a lot of times you're either not going to get it very far, or you're also going to get a backlash. But I've caught a lot of fish, and jerkbait is, especially now it's sunny and wind, jerkbait is, you know, a pretty good bait for these conditions, depending on where the fish are positioned. So, you know, those are a handful of baits that I'm going to, you know, take out if I know it's going to be really windy out, or if I have to fish in the wind. Those are a handful of baits. The only other things that I might do is some baits where I'm going to drag on the bottom, you know, like a worm with a heavy weight on it, or something like that. Somewhere I can drag on the bottom, or drag and have constant connection with my bait, and where my line is tight and doesn't have a big bow in it. So when you got a big bow in your line, that's where you can miss some bites, and that happened today too. I don't think I showed you guys, but it happened. So, all right guys, well, this is a long outro. It's just because there wasn't a lot of fishing content, and I want to explain to you guys a little bit more about what I like to use on windy days, because I didn't really get to prove it to you as much. Because, and you know, these rods and these setups are actually what I do take out. It's just, you know, today it was just kind of a bummer of a day. Had some stuff go wrong, and you know, that's just the way it happens. It's, you know, it happens sometimes, and you just got to fix it. So guys, that's gonna do it for this video. I really appreciate y'all for watching and subscribing and commenting. And you know, if the ones who haven't subscribed yet, please hit that subscribe button. And yeah, we'll catch you guys in the next video.